I remember the day I decided I was done being underestimated. I was just a teller then, standing behind the glass partition, counting stacks of cash and dreaming of something more. Everyone called me just a teller, like I was invisible, like my ambition didn't matter. But inside, I knew I was destined for bigger things, even if the world refused to see it. I watched the managers walking past, talking about their bonuses, their promotions, while I stayed in my small booth day after day. I felt the weight of their dismissiveness, the way they looked at me like I was just part of the furniture, not someone with fire in her belly. Every night, I'd go home and stare into the mirror, imagining a different life, one where I was calling the shots, where I bought the whole branch if I wanted to. I studied every bit of financial law, every strategy I could find, secretly devouring books about investments and corporate takeovers. I knew that one day I would turn the tables. Then, one slow afternoon, my chance came. A major client defaulted on a huge loan, an error that could have put the bank at risk. But I saw an opportunity. I approached my manager with a plan. Simple, calculated, ruthless. I proposed using my knowledge to restructure the debt, to turn a failure into a victory. They scoffed, told me I was out of my depth, just a teller after all. But I didn't care. I worked late that night, crunching numbers, making calculations, plotting my move. And when I presented my case the next morning, I saw the flicker of doubt in their eyes. I knew then that I had begun to shake the foundation. Over the next few months, I did what no one thought possible. I used every skill I'd quietly learned to tighten controls, identify risks, and leverage the bank's resources. I gained a reputation for being sharp, for catching errors others missed. But all the while, I was building my secret empire. I secretly invested my savings into undervalued stocks, real estate, and startups, things no one knew about. I was collecting my wealth under their noses, slowly, patiently. The day I finally bought the branch came unexpectedly. It was during one of the bank's quarterly meetings when I stood up, with enough power in my voice to silence the room. I revealed my ownership, my stake, my plan to modernize the bank from within. The room went dead silent. Shock, disbelief, fear, all reflected in their eyes. I could see the betrayal. Those who had dismissed me, underestimated me, had now become my subordinates. I had paid my dues in silence, in shadows, but now I was the master. But the story doesn't end there. No, that victory was only the beginning. Because I had learned that the greatest power lies in control. Control over your destiny, your finances, your future. I refused to let anyone take that away from me again. I tightened my grip, restructured the bank, and made sure my wealth was untouchable. I watched the old guard scramble to catch up, but they couldn't touch what I'd built. I became a symbol of resilience and cunning. The irony? The very people who called me just a teller now begged for my advice, hoping I'd help them salvage what they'd lost. I didn't have to say a word. My success spoke for itself. If you love Helena's journey, like and subscribe to join her next chapter. Because the truth is, the hardest battles often hide the sweetest victories, and I've only just begun to rewrite my story. Remember, no matter where you start, your vision and perseverance can turn the impossible into reality. Stay tuned because the best is yet to come.